Okay, I sort of have a show planned, but I still know. Hello, everyone. Let me refresh. Oh, yes, yes, yeah. We're going back to the classics. Hello. Happy Friday, guys. Hope everything's all right. I believe Brandon Trueblood is beginning his stream on Mr. Hemi Four-Speed's channel. So somebody wants to put the link in the description. We can, we could even raid. That might be fun. Polska Bob is out driving around delivering his goods. So maybe we'll put a link in there for Polska because we haven't talked to him for a while. And you'll notice this beautiful new avatar that I have here. Isn't that nice? Custom designed by Hamster because I drew the hat on Hammer. I don't know if he's doing a show this weekend or not. That's a good question. I think he's up in Indianapolis or is it next weekend? Wow, whatever. Sunday sermon, hopefully at 6:20. We'll see what happens. Tom Laundry is in the building. Hello. Connell McCracken. Oi. Oi. Mystery Man. Hello. Good to see you. Now, we're going to take a trip back in time today, gentlemen, because a lot of you you young people, well, you were like, I don't care about this shit. I'm going to play video games and chase girls around. This was 10 years ago. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention. Now, a lot of people think, oh, my God, Hamster. Hamster, what are you saying? Oh, it's crazy shit. Oh, it just sort of happened out of nowhere. No, it didn't, actually. This happened a long time ago. It's been going on for years. Just ask Colonel Sanders. He would know. Have you showed your junk yet on cameras? I'm kidding. Good to see you, sir. Hope everything's all right. Or were you a sir? I know some people that have been in the military, if they were not officers, they get pissed. Don't call me fucking sir. I work for a living. I don't know if you were a sir or not, but hey, good to see you. Anyway. Oh, yeah, Connell. Poo-needy. Poo-needy. God, I hope not, Hamster. Hey, Saunders, you showed us your butt crack a couple times. You know, that's all right. Yeah, we get it. There's a bad moon on the horizon. Surely nothing could go wrong. Yeah, Connell, allowing, 16-year-olds to vote? Of course, everything would be fine. Everybody's stable at 16. Aren't we? Hey, Saunders, it was all right. You know, I mean, we've seen worse. Hamster, you're such an asshole. Yes, I am. Mr. Man says, I smash Mexican piñata or puniti. All right. So, hey, Saunders, you remember this fucking thing they did a few years ago? This video here, these little girls talking shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been going on for years, boys. Y'all think it just happened. No. All this kind of bullshit has been being pushed for years by the fembots. Also on today's show, Donald Trump and Psychacks. So stay tuned, fellas. There's a whole lot more. All right, Saunders, you remember this. All right, let's give the gentlemen here who haven't seen this one just a little bit of taste. Now, these are what? 6-year-old kids, 7-year-old kids, girls. Go on.
Pretty. What the fuck? I'm not some pretty fucking helpless princess.
Now, these are 6, 7-year-old kids. Now, when I was that age, Saunders, and I'm sure you as well, if I came out and said stuff like that, Mama Bear would get out the fucking bar of soap. I'm going to wash your mouth out with soap, Hamster. Yeah, let's listen to that again. Are you ready?
Pretty. What the
fuck indeed? Well. Got a 6, 7-year-old child here saying, fuck. Of course, it wasn't knocked off YouTube or anything because reasons. There is a narrative. This was 8 years ago, so it was 2015. And I'm sure I have a video somewhere on the channel talking about it then. But just in case you guys missed this, in case you missed it, here we go.
I'm not some pretty fucking hopeless princess in distress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
I'm pretty fucking powerful. And
Oh, okay, young lady. You're 7 years old. I'm pretty fucking powerful. Are you now? Mm-hmm. Okay.
ready for success. So
Good. No, you're about 17 or 18 now, right? So hopefully everything's going well for you. Go on.
what is more offensive? A little girl say fuck or
Pretty offensive, yeah. Yep.
the fucking unequal and sexist way? Society
The fucking, whoa. Let's go back.
offensive. A little girl saying fuck or the fucking unequal and sexist way?
The fucking unequal and sexist ways. Gentlemen, I've been telling you for a long time, the indoctrination starts young. These kids are barely out of 10 years old maybe? I don't know. Reckon Bastard is here. Shot of whiskey is in the building. Father Saunders says, Mom and Dad, not only your mom and dad, but your grandpa, your uncle, your auntie, your great-grandfather. Get that goddamn soap in his mouth. That son of a... We all know. The result of an absent father or some sick mother effer mothers selling their children to do bullshit. And that's what it is. They're selling their kids to push a narrative. Okay.
Society treats girls and women. It's our future. So listen up, grown-ups. Here's some words more fucked up than the word fuck.
Words more offensive. Pay inequality. Okay.
Pay inequality. Women are paid 23% less than men.
No, they're not. They earn less than men because men work longer hours, etc. I'm not going to beat the dead horse. You don't know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
For the exact same fucking work. And
No. We need Frankie here to sing a song. Go on.
women who graduate university with straight A's get paid as much as men who only got C's.
Now, let's just peel back that onion a little bit. What they said was, in case you missed it, I'll go back. Go ahead.
Who graduate university with straight A's get paid as much as men who only got C's. So
So, what were the majors we're talking about? Are we talking about the difference between, I don't know, an electrical engineer, a chemist, a professional, or a gender studies major? No, wait a minute. We're supposed to ignore all that shit because they have a 4-year bachelor degree. They should be paid the same regardless of what they took in college. Fuck me. I'm getting smart. Damn right. But you wouldn't expect the nuance to show up in this, would you? No.
bad grades equal more bank just because you
What is the doctor who graduates last in their medical classes? What do you call them? Doctor. That's right. What do you call the lesbian gender studies, underwater basket weaving, lesbian pottery major who gets straight A's? A barista. Yeah?
a boy? Hello and hell no. Pay up, motherfucker. I shouldn't need a penis to get paid.
You don't really. But then again, things are a little weird, little girls. This is 8 fucking years later. All right. So now we're going in to get into the R word. Go on.
Rape and violent fucked up facts. 1 out of every 5 women will be sexually assaulted or
Now,
raped by a man.
Now, did you notice what they got it right? Listen to it again carefully.
Need a penis to get paid. Rape and violent fucked up facts. 1 out of every 5 women
will be sexually assaulted
or raped by a man.
Now, did you see? They actually said the correcto thingy, didn't they? They didn't say 1 out of 5 women will be grapefruited in college. They said will be sexually assaulted or grapefruited. Now, I know, why are you picking the nit? Sharpen the pencil on this, because sexual assault is defined as a whole bunch of behaviors that don't include grapefruit. Grapefruit is one sexual assault. The vast majority of sexual assault is not grapefruit. You see where they get these crazy numbers from? Have you ever been like touched by a dude at a bar without your consent? Yeah. Oh, you've been sexually assaulted. But then conflate that into what the, it's not that hard to figure out, is it? I hope not.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one of us will it be?
None of you. You little girls ought to be celebrating you live in one of the safest fucking countries ever in existence. But yet we're going to still pound on. We're still going to make up fucking lies. Because it pushes the narrative, the narrative forward. These poor young girls here, they're being used. It's terrible.
So how many more women have to get knocked down before society stands up and stops it?
Okay, well, fair. What would you expect us to do? Would you expect the government to put out some recommendations for women to not go into certain situations? No, you're blaming the victim. Aha. Well, what we need to do is tell men not to do that. Fair. Okay, good. There's a percentage of men that do that no matter what you tell them. What do we do about those men? Here'd be an idea. If this horrible stuff happens to you, you report it to the police and you get the motherfucker in jail. See? Huh. Wouldn't that just be something you'd normally do? Yeah.
Here's a hot tip. Stop telling girls how to dress and start teaching boys not to fucking rape.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so most men know not to do that. What about the ones that do? You know, they don't really give much of a fuck, do they? Because they're evil, toxic, fucking psychotic people. So what should we do with those people? What do they say? 90% of rapes are not reported to the police. Now, call me crazy. Wouldn't that be a starting point, is to encourage women to report when these things happen? Put those men in jail? No. That would put responsibility on the female. You see, we just got to blame men because men are the fucking problem. Right, little princess?
We're glad a women's right to vote is here.
But equality's next step
Is walking to the car without fear.
Walking to the car without fear. You mean it like at the mall or Schnucks or Dierbergs? During the day, you're afraid to walk to your car. You know, that sounds like a mental problem. Really. Sounds like an issue with your brain. Now, if you're talking about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, yeah, I might be. Oh, no, I should be able to do whatever I want, when I want to, anytime. Now, where do you suppose these rapists search for victims? Is it during the day at Dierbergs where everyone is there and everybody can see what's going on, or at 3 o'clock in the morning in an alley behind the bar? Just saying.
Be pretty. So here's the tricky thing.
pretty, it's a compliment.
But here's how this focus works to girls' detriment. Society teaching girls that our bodies, boobs, and butts are more important than our brains
Leads us to thinking.
Our worth comes from our waistline.
Okay, let's stop this bullshit. Women, how do you even say it? Just because men initially pay attention to what you look like does not mean they don't value what you have in your brain. Okay. Two things can be right at the same time. Hey, she's hot and you get to know her. She's really smart. Cool. Hey, great. But let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about the initial attraction or nothing like that. You got to be semi-attractive to get the attention in the first place. How are you supposed to determine a person's personality unless they allow you to talk to them? I'm just saying, go.
My aspirations in life should not be worrying about the shape of my ass.
Well, then don't, little girl. What are you, 7? You're 15 now. I'm sure it doesn't concern you at all. I'm going to wear what I want and fuck those boys. Okay. Do what you want to. That's fine. However, as much as the fembots, these evil, always want to be unhappy about something cunts, since they're not being paid attention to by men, they think you shouldn't be either. Aha. This goes pretty deep.
So fuck focusing on how I look.
And give me a book. The continued sexism, girls who...
Why do I have to give you a book? Can you not get your own book? Can you not go to the library and pick a book up and read it? Why do I always have to fucking do something for you? Why don't you do it for your fucking self? Oh, you think it's new? It's not. Billy the goat, their parents sold them to these people to do this bullshit. That's why. Rick and Bastard. Sue the adults. Well, this was 8 years ago. This is right up the old narrative hole there. They love this kind of shit. I know. Spider Spectre is here. Hello. Happy Friday. It is the weekend. By the way, next weekend, 7 days from today, Memorial Day weekend, 2023. Do you fucking believe? Do you believe it's going so fast? Hey, Saunders, it gets worse the older we get. It's like, oh my God, what the fuck happened? All right, let's see what this bonehead has to say. Are you a phony? Are you? I think this is the hill. Let's see what this is here. This is called the Ring of Fire. So I thought we'd throw some Trump in because everybody loves a little Trump. Especially some women. Didn't say anything about that. Now, the title of this video, Trump brags about taking away women's rights in disgusting interview. Oh my God. No. What are we going to do about this? Well, let's play it and see what the fuck happened.
It was really only a couple weeks ago that Donald Trump was telling Republicans that campaigning on taking away
Hello, Farron Cousins. How are you? Taking away
women's bodily autonomy.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, Mr. Cousins. Donald Trump did not do that. You see, Donald Trump did not take away women's rights. The Supreme Court found that Roe versus Wade was unconstitutional. But go ahead. Tertiary blame, is that it?
Was a very bad idea. And when he said that, he was correct. But somewhere in the last couple months, weeks, whatever it's been, he decided to change his mind. And during an interview with Newsmax this week.
Imagine Donald Trump changing his mind. Donald fucking Trump. They still haven't figured out this guy's grift, I guess. I mean, Jesus Christ, guys. Come on.
Donald Trump decided to fully embrace the attack.
You mean Donald Trump is going to say anything he can to gain votes? Like any other politician? Mr. Cousins? No. It's only Donald Trump because he's evil.
Attack on women's reproductive freedoms by announcing that he is the one who overturned Roe versus Wade.
So if women, excuse me, fuckface, if women have reproductive freedoms, and people argue they should, why do men not have the same? Just curious. You always you don't ever talk about that, do you? Well, it should be equality. Equality. So women, they have the right in the end not to become parents, but men don't. But I digress. Let's go back to the bald.
Here's what Trump said in that interview.
Oh, no.
I'm the one who got rid of Roe versus Wade, and everyone said that was an impossible thing to do. I put
Yes, for 50 years, people did say it was impossible.
on 3 Supreme Court justices. Very few people have had that privilege or
That's true.
honor, and they're terrific people, and they happen to believe that Roe versus Wade should not be there. And now,
even Ruth Bader Ginsburg, God rest her soul, didn't believe Roe versus Wade was a correct decision. But that's okay. Blame Donald Trump. Orange evil man. He's Nazis.
now it's been brought back to the states, and what I've done is given the pro-life people, who are wonderful people and loving people, I've given them the power of negotiation, because now they're going to be able to negotiate something that's very important.
Or you could say you gave the power of democracy back to the voter. I know. It's a crazy fucking strange thing to think about, isn't it? For you see, when the Democrats say democracy, they mean if everything goes their way. You see, it's kind of a one-sided democracy. You see, if people in, I don't know, Missouri or Alabama, they say, nah, we want to restrict this shit. We don't think it's a good idea. And the voters support it. That's not my democracy. That's my National Socialism. You see how this game is played? It's fucking amazing. Okay. All righty, cue ball.
What I did on Roe versus Wade for 50 years, they had been trying to do it. I got it done, and now we're in a position to make a really great deal.
We got her done. Yeah. That's the one thing in the 10th Amendment. You know, if it's not in the Constitution, it's up to the states and the people. I know. I fucking know. I know.
And the deal people want.
It's evil. See, here's why it's evil. Can I tell you there, Baldy? Here's why it's evil. Because the pro-aborts, they do not have the support of the majority. See, why do you think they wanted to go to the Supreme Court? Because it's the Supreme Court and there's no voting required. Do you understand my point? Of course you don't. Because Donald Trump is evil and shit like that.
A deal. Women are dying. I mean, we heard from one recently.
Are they? Okay.
Testifying in front of the.
Well, that's terrible. So let's figure that out then. Let's figure out these women that are dying because they can't get an abortion because their kids are, not going to work or whatever. Let's sit down and talk about that. Cue ball. Now, after we're done talking about that, let's talk about the 99% of abortions that have nothing to do with that. What do you say? No, don't want to talk about that. I wonder why. Wait a minute. Look at this corner case. Don't look at this. Well, that's fucking slick, ain't it there, Chief?
The United States Senate about how she almost died because the hospital would not treat her, because treating her would mean having to kill the fetus growing inside of her, and they were afraid they would be prosecuted under Texas law if
Now, I bet there's a lot more to this story than you're going to fucking tell us there, Baldy. Isn't there? But if you give us the rest of the story, it wouldn't quite be as, I'm just saying.
They were to do that. That's not a deal. That's not a negotiation. You cannot use women's lives as some kind of bargaining chip.
Now, here's the deal. People in Texas, a lot of women in Texas, and apparently you don't believe women have autonomy and they can think for themselves, but that's all right. We would call you a misogynist. Accept the title, you woman-hating fuck. The people of Texas, including the 51% of the females, they can vote people in to decide to take care of these things, emergency rules. See, what you can't comprehend, Mr. Q-Ball, the thing that you can't comprehend is women are not a monolithic block. Not all women want to have them babies sucked out. A lot of women are saying you shouldn't do that. Keep the shit in your fucking pants. Keep it zipped up, girl. You won't ever have to worry about that. You don't want to understand. You believe women are all a collective mind, a hive mind, so to speak. And so do the feminists. But when women come out and they vote in favor of these kinds of things, you cannot fucking believe it. Apparently, you can't believe women can think for themselves. And that's really a sad fucking thing. Maybe you ought to address that in your own life, your own personality. Maybe there's something fucked up in your head. You know, not all women are the same. Not all men are the same. Not all people are the same. Let's continue. God.
Anger aside, Donald Trump, what he's doing right now is he is making sure that no moderate and no independent women out there in the United States vote for him whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe. I guess we're going to see, aren't we? We're going to see, aren't we?
And this comes at an especially bad time for Donald Trump, as the GOP has been openly fretting about how Donald Trump performed so poorly with suburban women in 2020.
Excuse me, Mr. Q-Ball. Do you know who announced for president today, who's running? Tim Scott, senator from South Carolina. We've got Nikki Haley, Governor Haley from South Carolina. We've got a whole big variety of people. DeSantis, all these folks. Now, I would like to know, how would you spin if, say, Senator Scott and DeSantis were the ticket? Now, tell me how you're going to do that one. You're going to call Mr. Scott a Tom? Is that what you're going to do? Because he doesn't agree with your bullshit? Just curious. Just wondering.
And now he's out there bragging to them that I'm the one that took away your rights.
Mm-hmm. Rights that didn't exist. Mm-hmm. Got it.
We have seen deep red states, including Kansas.
Ooh, deep red states. Oh, good. Oh, goody. Goody, goody. Let's talk about the Kansas. Yay. Kansas. Go ahead. Have you ever been to Kansas, Baldy? You say it's deep red. Have you ever been to Lawrence or Manhattan or Kansas City? No. Wichita? No, you haven't. It ain't so deep red, bro. See, people in states can decide to do different things and still be federally red. You understand that? People in Kansas decided they wanted a certain thing. That's their fucking right under the Constitution. Okay? You don't like that. You don't like that, do you? No.
When the issue is put before the voters vote against abortion bans.
Yeah, as is their right. And what's the fucking problem? Well, here would be the problem. If the people of Kansas decided they wanted those abortion bans, then you would say, democracy is under attack by the Nazis. Wouldn't you? Goddamn guaranteed. Just go to Lawrence, Kansas and see how many Republicans you find there. Just saying.
Even conservative women are voting against abortion bans. They do not want these things in place.
Uh-huh. Good. Well, that is the right of the people to vote. Of course, you don't the horse is dead. I got it. Horse is dead. Yep.
So if Donald Trump wants to go parading around the United States bragging that he is the one who did that, that is campaign kryptonite.
Well, I guess we're going to find out, aren't we?
We saw it in the 2022 midterms. That was on the minds of the voters. It is still on the minds of the voters.
And you know what the big deal about what you just said, sir? The voters. You know what Roe versus Wade did, sir? I'm sure you haven't thought about this too much. The voters. If people want that in their state, they can now vote to make it happen. Roe took away our right to vote on the topic. Or is that a little bit too deep? Is that a little bit too... Hamster, why are you such an asshole? Well, because I can be, and I'm not really. Just pointing out facts. Yeah. Population control, goddamn right who it is. Mm-hmm. All of this shit is. All this feminism, all this men are evil. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Anyway, let's get to one more. We've got Dr. Orion. And the title of this video is Making Men Angry at Women is a Business. The system of creators, consumers, and platform artists, and evil men who are just, oh my God. What are we going to do? They're terrible.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psychacks, Better Living Through Psychology.
Okay.
And the topic of today's short talk is Making Men Angry at Women is a Business. And it's a big business on social media platforms like YouTube. So this is something that I think is really important for folks to understand, especially for all the young men out there who are the principal demographic for many of these YouTube channels.
Okay, now
over the past decade, I've subscribed to many of these channels.
Excuse me. Dr. Orion, you do not mention one of these fucking channels in your video. Wouldn't you want to point out the evil Nazis that are hating women? Wouldn't you want to say XYZ over here, YouTube channel, he is fucking evil. He hates the women. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why do you, sir, hate women? Why wouldn't you want to point out these evil bastards that are saying all this bullshit? Contemplate that on the tree of woe.
And I think many of them do many things well. However, almost all of them, to some degree or another.
You mean many of these amorphous globs out there on the YouTubes that you won't name? Interesting.
Fall into the trap of selectively focusing on some of the most flagrant examples of the nonsense of which women are apparently capable. Much of their content is cherry-picked to be provocative and inflammatory because extreme content is more likely to be clicked, viewed, and shared.
Now, Dr. O, can I call you Dr. O? When a red pill channel or a MGTOW channel sets out the facts about what is really going on in this country with respect to divorce and child custody, alimony, affirmative action, all of these things, it seems like you interpret that as hate. I would interpret that as information that people should know. They don't have to subscribe to it. They don't have to pay attention. This is bullshit. It's fine. Why would we want to have that information out there? Why is it woman-hating to point out that 80% of divorces are started by the female? Just saying. I don't hate women. You know, maybe 80% of women are abused and shit in their relationship and they got to get out. But maybe they're not. Just Lauren Boebert. Just Lauren Boebert from Colorado. Oh, God. Yes. So, why are you afraid of information? Getting out to people, and the people can do what they want with that information. Are you going to get some people who flip out, get a little red pill rage and scream, oh, there's fucking women and all that bullshit? Yeah. Yes, you will. But let's not lump those guys in with the rest of us. See, it seems like you're incapable of doing that. And you're a psychologist. You know how this works. You know, projection, all that kind of thing. You're a professional. You know this. But I'm really concerned, Dr. Orion, why you think it's a problem that men talk about these things online. And secondarily, why do you think talking about things like this are hating women? Just curious. Anyway, go ahead.
Very frankly, it drives growth. This content can kind of feel like anonymously rubbernecking a car crash from the privacy of your own home. It satisfies darker impulses that we all have, which are not socially acceptable to admit.
I mean, it is fun to see people go after each other. I get it. I admit that. It's kind of fun. Except when, Andy Worski does blood sports for 3 fucking years straight and nobody cares anymore. However, just presenting information. I don't see that as hate. I'm sorry you do. Maybe you should reconsider that position. But it's up to you. Obviously, you have free speech. You can say what you want.
So I'm here to caution guys who watch these channels to take everything that they hear with a grain of salt. They're very well...
Grain of salt. Okay. So are men who are talking about these things, divorce rate, alimony, child, all that stuff, are we lying about that? Is that not objective reality? We're just making this shit up and saying, women suck because, blah. Or maybe there's some information out there that you'd rather not talk about. Like, for example, the channels you're impugning at this point. Which channels are they? Would you like to point out a few? Give us a couple names? No. Dr. O.
Well, maybe truth in what these creators are saying.
And extreme examples have the didactic usefulness of providing stark exemplars of phenomenon. But you take the extreme examples of men on, /Reddit, fuck women, I don't know what the hell some of these places are. And you're looking at creators. I would like to think of myself as a creator, Undead Chronic, Hammerhand, Brandon Trueblood, all these men. You're lumping us into the most extreme category. And I think it's only because we say things maybe that are a little bit negative toward the women. Oh my God. How could you do that? Oh, that's the end of the world. Jeez, you hate women. No, I don't hate women. No, I don't. I don't hate anyone. I like women. I have several good friends that are very close that I can call up anytime that are chicks. It's not about hating women. It's about hating the fucking system that we've allowed to happen. See? You see the difference? Individual female, system. Do I have to fucking draw it out on a PowerPoint? Individual woman, system. We on the same page yet? Dr. O. No?
That may be difficult to observe in other cases, in which they assume less intense forms and are confounded by other variables. However, any truth that you glean should ideally be tested out in the crucible of your own personal experience.
So if the own personal experience, we can read statistics and data, but that personal experience doesn't count. Because I believe if you believe in that shit, you're a woman-hating cunt. Is that right, Dr. O? Wow. Well. Interesting.
And that includes the content on this channel as well. Think it out and see whether what I'm saying may be true.
Yeah. In very, very limited cases. I could think of some channels. I won't mention names, but a couple of years ago, there was some MGTOW guys that were getting all kind of crazy and shit. Here's the difference, though, Dr. O. I could name those channels. I could name these people. I could give you the fucking link. However, you're going to be all ambivalent and kind of mysterious. All these men are doing all this woman-hating shit. Where are they? Show us the channels. Where are the fucking receipts? Just wondering.
We have teeth in our mouth and not in our stomach because we need to chew on things for a while before we swallow them whole.
Yeah, sure.
Society has become increasingly polarized in recent years, and relations between men and women in particular are mistrustful and strained.
Now, I wonder why that is, Dr. O. Do you have any opinion on that? Do you think maybe there's some organic or inorganic fucking force behind that trying to push us apart? Hans Klaus WEF? No, nothing like that. Okay, yeah, it's just men are evil and we suck.
How did we end up here? The answer is somewhat complicated as it involves an interdependent system with three main components.
Okay, now we're going to get three main components. All right, Dr. O, give it to us. We can handle it.
The content creators, the content consumers, and the social media algorithms. No one factor is really to blame, so I'm not here to cast aspersions. I just want to help people understand how the thing works. Now, the shift toward polarization is accomplished in large part through operant conditioning, which is what we call using punishments and rewards to influence behavior.
Right.
The amazing thing about operant conditioning is that it is usually done unconsciously. In many cases,
excuse me, against your will? Oh my God.
Neither party knows that he or she is rewarding or punishing or being rewarded or being punished. And in most cases, contingency management is even more effective when it occurs outside of awareness.
Now, Dr. O just went into his psychological psychobabble. That's all right. I mean, that's what he does for a living. I mean, there's no hate there. There's no shame in that game, apparently. We'll let him go on for a couple more minutes. Then I got to go eat some lunch. All right, go ahead. Go.
Let's start with the content creators. The fact of the matter is that it is...
And you name none of them. Zero.
It's very difficult for people not to act in line with, let alone against, their financial best interest.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying, sir. I do.
As a consequence, it's fairly unreasonable to expect that people will, in fact, do so. If more extreme content leads to more clicks, views...
All right, I got to go eat. I'm sorry. I'll put the link in the chat here. Boom. Boom. There. What are we having for lunch? Whatever I can scrape out of the sink that I didn't eat last night. Just kidding. Probably a sandwich and more beer because that's the way I do things here. All right, boys. Probably talk to you later. Go over to Mr. Hemi 4-Speed with Brandon's streaming right now. It's going to be more exciting. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.